What up, guys? Jason Geiman here with PressureWashHelp.com. And I want to talk about quoting tonight because I know that quoting can be hard sometimes. I get a lot of questions coming in about quoting. How much, Jason, do I charge for this? How much do I charge for that? How much do I charge for a residential house? How much do I charge for a commercial? What should my daily rate be? All of these awesome, fun things as a business owner that we get to deal with. Don't leave money on the table, and that's a good point. So I want to hit on some of those things. I know sometimes this can be probably the hardest thing that a lot of business owners struggle with, and this is the number one thing that will make you go out of business. Do we do $99 an hour? Do we do $300 an hour? Do we do $500 an hour? How do we bid? How do we quote? How do we do things so that way we are being profitable? And when we are profitable, we are not leaving money on the table. What up, Nathan from Cynthiana? And so we are wanting to see what we need to do. Mr. H2O Improvement, I got to meet him in person a week or two ago down in Raleigh, which was awesome. And so it was good. And if any of you have seen Jason Hefner, he did a live on top of a roof with no way to get back off the roof. I don't know what he had to do. Probably had to call one of his fireman buddies, which I doubt he did that because he would never let that down. So you always just got to make sure that if you jump down off of a little thing, that you can get your little butt back over that thing. Otherwise, you are going to get stuck. Or your ladder blows over, or all of those fun things. Mr. Wild Wild West, how are you doing tonight? In Dallas. Chip, how you doing? Been staying busy. That is awesome, Nathan. That's amazing. That's pretty cool. I know you've been doing well down there. Nathan actually did my course when I did it with Southeast down in Alabama. Pink Robin, good afternoon, evening. So this weekend has been a busy weekend for me. I have been to soccer games. We went to a tournament. It's about an hour and a half away up in Dayton, Ohio this weekend. So that's why I got some red burn there, sunburn. And it was cold. It was like 45 the first game and 50, and the wind was getting it. Because if anybody knows anything about soccer, that on them soccer fields, it gets it when the wind's getting it there. How you doing, Boo Boo Hunt from South Carolina? Copperhead Pressure Washing, Soft Washing LLC watching. All right, just beginning, trying to learn all I can. Thanks. All right, Brian. So this one's going to be good for you because a lot of people struggle with pricing. How do I quote? Am I too high? What's my close rate? I've bid at 10 jobs. I've only closed 2 or 3. Is that good? Is that bad? And so that's what we're going to hit on here. So them are some things. That course was great. Good to see everyone in person and touch the equipment. How should I quote roof washing? I'll hit on that too. If you have quoting questions, please ask. I'm actually going to star them here so that way I can bring them back up when I'm getting it through here. Now, if I get rolling and I miss it, you might have to do it again. But my son wants to start a pressure washing business. He is 12 and tips. Yep, just get business, man. Yep, had to pull the jackets out this weekend. Pressure washing business is slowing down. It is the middle of October, and it is one of those things that it does slow down, especially us up north. But down in the south, This is their busy time. You know, a lot of Floridians, a lot of people on the coast, and you know, Alabama, and this is their moving time. So this is their busy time. Who's $99 guy is the one who charges $99 for a job, or the one who charges $99 per hour. It's pretty much the same. Everyone so high, so everyone makes money. You're right about that. Jason, I'm just beginning to do quote by the square foot or by the job. And that's a good question. I'm going to hold that one. I will try to answer that. All right. So why do we need to quote, and how do we quote? What are some things that we need to do for quoting, and how do we do quoting so that way we maximize profits? A lot of people think that profits are bad. A lot of people think that, you know, if I bid it at $300, you know, I'm big on the $300 an hour, $400 an hour, and because at the end of the day, there's a lot that's coming out of that money. So let's just take, for instance, if we're bidding them at the $99, and we're going to try to bid $99. We're in Florida. There's everybody and their brother pressure washing, and we're going to be $99. Well, I'm going to just let you know that you're going to be out of business. There's not very many people that stick around in business. That's the $99 guy. It just doesn't happen. And so this is some things that we want to do. Now, we can do it two ways when we're bidding houses. We can quote it and be as a square foot, or we can quote houses as a set price for that square foot. And then we can quote in person, or we can quote online. So I'm going to hit on a couple of these things in this video is my goal. So if I miss something, or you want to hear something going down a little bit down that rabbit trail a little more, just let me know so that way we can do it. So let's start off with house washing, because house washing is one of the easy things to do for now. So house washing, we can do it per square foot. We can be, you know, 30 cents a square foot. So 1,000 square foot house, we're at $300. That's where I want to be at, right? I want to be at $300 an hour. And here's why I want to be at $300 an hour. One, you know, for us, you only get 8 to 9 months to work. So we have to make enough money in that 8 to 9 months that it pays our bills all 12 months. Because the last thing I want to do is go get a part-time job on Uber or something, because I didn't make enough money through the 9 months I got so that I can do my job. And so with that said, that's the reason why I want to be able to make enough money so I don't have to go do nothing else. Now, if you're an owner-operator, I really don't want to do nothing else. Not always, but most of the time. Now, I know I got some people that want to do Christmas lights in the wintertime. That's really profitable, and that's fine. You can do that and make it through the winter months through our Christmas lights. But I want to be able to make enough money that I can work 8 to 9 months out of the year and not work those 3 or 4 months when it's cold or my business shuts down, because that's what happens. And so so that is what I want to do. So what I want to do when I'm doing this is, you know, this is why I'm going to bid when I'm bidding. And I'm going to show you some, I'm going to give you a couple numbers, and then I'm going to actually show you in response to bid of the importance of what we're doing and what I'm talking about, how our close rate affects this, how all of those things affect at the end of the day. So again, so if we're looking at a house wash and we are at, you know, 30 cents a square foot, you know, 1,000 square foot house is, you know, $300. If we do a 2,000 square foot house, we're at $600. If we do a 300 square or 3,000 square foot, we're at $900. Now that's one way to do it. You know, now the problem and sometimes issues you might have is when we're trying to get that higher price, you might get even a lower cost or close rate, because, you know, a $900 house wash, you know, just because it's 3,000 square foot, it's a 2-story. It's not going to take me much longer than a 1-story. So a lot of times I didn't bid on quoting that way, because a lot of times what I found out is my close rate for those my bread and butter was that 2,500 square foot vinyl siding house. I can do 4 of those a day and I can make really good money. I can make my money that I need to do so I can hit my numbers to hit either 100,000 or 200,000 or 300,000. And I'm going to tell you why this is important. So what I did is, a 300, up to a 1,500 square foot house or 1,000 square foot house was $300. My next one was, I would add a little bit more. I wasn't adding another $300 because I knew it wasn't going to take me much more than an hour for me to do. I could do a 2,500 square foot house in an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So a lot of them houses I was bidding, 400, 450, 3,000 was get me up to that $500, $600, $700 range. Now you can charge more than that. I'm just giving you some averages. I'm not telling you how to charge. I'm just telling you, you can go that 30 cents a square foot. But if your close rate drops off, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna hit on some things of why it is important. And even if our close rate does come down, who cares? At the end of the day, as long as we're making money, we're being successful, and we're able to do all the things we need to do. Because when I'm trying to shoot for that $300 an hour, that's paying for insurance, taxes, gas, all my bills, electric, my shop, my office, my bleach, my marketing, my CRMs, all of that stuff comes into a factor of where we want to be at. And so that is a really good thing. So Nathan put, a 2,000 square foot house around $350 to $400. You're in and out in an hour. If you got a 4 or 5 gallon a minute, it might be an hour and 50, maybe an hour and 15, an hour and a half. And so, we can do 3 or 4 of those a day, and now we've made more. Now, I'm not, now, obviously, when we go to do a house wash, we want to do packages because our goal with house washing is to get our package, get our average ticket as high as we can. And then when we can get our average ticket as high as we can, that's even better. So if I'm going there to do a house wash, then, hey, I can clean your exterior of your windows for $150. So now instead of $400 or $500, I'm up to $500, $600. And now my average ticket is at $600. And then, you know what? If you want this, I can also add your driveway for another $300. So now my $500, $600 ticket just turned into an $800, $900 ticket just by giving them 3 packages. And everybody loves packages. When you give packages, it will upsell your ticket. So when we can average, and this is the difference between a close rate of 50% versus 75%. And what I mean by that is if we gave 100 people quotes and 75 people took them at an average of $300, you're going to end up making $22,000, $500. But if you can just raise your average ticket up, $150, $450, but your close rate is only at 50%. You only do half as many jobs. You do a quarter less. So you do 25 less jobs. Now you're at $22,500. But if we can get our average ticket up another $150 on those 50 jobs, now we're at $30,000. So if you can have an average ticket of $600. Average ticket of $600 and just do 100 jobs in 1 year. Let's just think about that, especially for a lot of part-timers. If you could do part-time work and do 100 jobs a year, so that would be, if we can, let's just do easy math. That's 10 months. If you can work 10 months and you do 10 jobs a month, 10 jobs a month at $600 is your average ticket. You could do $60,000 in 1 year as a part-time cleaner. And I know it can happen because I actually had a student at my Christmas light class that he works part-time and his average ticket's about $1,000. and he's made $60,000 this year. And so this is what you can do and why and how you can do it to be able to do it. So I've been undercut for 250 by Pro Wash several times. And I don't know why he does that for. I really don't know why he does that for. And so this is what you can do. Now, if we want to go large scale and you do 700, if you had 750 jobs and your average was $300, you would be at $225,000. But you could only do 500 jobs and just get it up $150 ticket, our average ticket. So instead of just doing a house wash, we're going to do a house wash, we're going to do windows, we're going to do concrete, and now our average ticket is up to $450. We're at $225,000. Or if we have a close rate of $600 then we're at $300,000. So this is why it is important that when we are bidding with packages, because a lot of times there's people out there that will always buy the middle package. They will never buy the bottom package. And there's people out there that will only buy the high dollar package. They will never buy nothing less than the best of the best. And so this is why we do packages, so that we get our average ticket up. And when we get our average ticket up, now we're being profitable, and now we can make a business out of pressure washing. If all we're doing is $300 house washes, it's going to be hard to run a business that way. $3,000 a day is doable. That's my first year. It's 100% doable. I agree 100% that $3,000 a day is doable. And so, these are some things that we can do. Now, I'm going to show you some responsibility here. I think I am, if I didn't mess it up already, because I think I moved it. Now, this is a live business that DJ, don't know I'm going to use him, but I am going to use him. So this is what I mean by doing this. So if we look down here at the company average, his average close is only 52%. 52% is all the close in the last month. Now, if we look at the average tickets and how much the average ticket is in the last 30 days, his average ticket has been $835. Now, that's what we want. We want higher tickets, because when we do higher tickets, that means we do less work and we make more money. We do less jobs and make more money. So he's at a 52% close rate with an average of let's see, the tickets with an average of $835. So this is the one I wanted right here. So you can see in the last 30 days, he's booked almost $18,000. These are custom items. This is probably concrete cleaning, ceiling, stuff like that, deck, stuff like that. House washing, he's made $6,000 on. Them are gravy money when we're looking at it here. And so that's what we are doing. And even the driveway is part of this up here. So this is what we want to look at when we are closing. We want to get our average tickets up, and we want to get our, that kind of stuff. And no, he has not got zero off flyers, but this is the only that last 30 days. And so this is what we want to do to be able to get our average ticket up, so we can be more profitable at the end of the day. Now, now I want to show you something here. So his close rate for the last 30 days is 52%. But I want to show you what the last 12 months is. The last 12 months, it doesn't look so pretty. We're only at 37% of close this year. And so, yes, that's not good, right? We want to get our close rate up. And so what we want to do is how do we get that up, which he's done better, because the last couple days the last 30 days, he's up to 50%. But you also look here that our average ticket is $694, right? That's what we want. We want the higher our average ticket is. Last year, his average ticket was like $300-400 because he wasn't doing packages. He wasn't using ResponsiBid, and when he wasn't using ResponsiBid, it wasn't giving him packages to get his higher ticket up. And so that's what we want to do to get our higher ticket up, to get it as high as we can, so that way we are being profitable and we can make money and not have to do anything. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. We don't want to do nothing. If you want to try ResponsiBid, I did put the link down into there. You do get a couple days free, I think, but that's where we want to be at. Now, once we figured out this is what we have to do. So driveways, you can be about 30 cents a square foot there, because in driveways, we know kind of how long is it going to take us to clean. I could do about 2,000 square feet per hour. A lot of times my employees were about 1,500 square feet per hour, just because, I don't know, they just don't clean as fast as I guess I did. And so what that does is then I will be able to know that if I clean, 30 cents a square foot, 1,000, say 1,000 square foot, there's my $300, right? And so that's what we want to be able to do to be able to grow our business. That's what we want to do to make sure that we can get our business and doing that. Jason, how should we present these packages to the customer, via over the phone or email? So with ResponsiBid, it does it through email and it does it through text. It'll actually text them. Now, you do have to pay extra for the text, but if you're emailing anybody, whether you're using a CRM or you're using ResponsiBid or you're just sending an email out, you do want to make sure you follow up with a phone call the next day. What we found out is about 30%, 3 out of 10, never received their email, never received their text. So them are some things, especially because before when I started, ResponsiBid wasn't tied into text. It was only tied into here. And so that was, why we want to call to make sure that is what we want to do. So, Jason, you take bigger strides. That's why you clean a faster driveway. Actually, that's not the case, because you can only go so fast with a surface cleaner. Because if you go too fast with a surface cleaner, you start getting stripes, and that is bad. And so I have Jobber right now. So what you can do with Jobber is add those as line items. And put them as optionals, and then that way they can click the buttons as options, and then that way they will be able to add that to that. So talked about residential. We want to be able to bid most houses. Again, we're going to add packages, because packages is what gets our average ticket up, and what gets our average ticket up, we can go from there. Roof cleaning. Roof cleaning is another one. Roof cleaning is a very profitable. Don't get on a roof for less than $500-600. Don't be doing, And so roof cleaning, I know people that are charging, if they're doing the square foot, they're charging about 40 to 50 cents per square foot if they're doing it just off the house. Again, I started at $600 and I went up from there. If it was steeper or bigger or stuff like that, I even went higher. So don't be afraid to send out a $1,200, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 roof cleaning. Again, when we're bidding, we want to be confident in our bid. We don't want to be like, here you go, I'm scared of my bid. No, be confident in that bid. Make that bid why you're, and these are some things that you can do so that I can do that. Jason, how can I get in touch with you for a skid? pressurewashhelp@gmail.com. pressurewashhelp@gmail.com. So these are some things that you want to do. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are bidding. And when we're bidding and quoting, and especially if we're going to do packages, we're bidding everything. We're not just bidding one thing. We're going to bid everything. We're going to bid the whole, especially in-person versus non-in-person. I bid most things online. I don't have time to sit there and spend hours upon hours of driving to these customers' houses. I bid everything online. DJ bids everything online. In the last 30 days, he's had a 52% close rate. So that is what you can do with that. If he probably bid it in person, he probably could get up to a little bit higher tickets, and he probably could have a little bit better close rate. But then you're spending a lot of time that you're not being able to spend time of working on the business. You're spending a lot of time working in the business, driving around everywhere. And so that's one thing. So with that, you can make sure that you are bidding properly. Don't be afraid to bid. Don't be afraid of, well, I don't think they'll pay that. Because if you come in the attitude of, I don't think they'll pay that, they probably won't pay that because you are not confident. You are not confident in your pricing that, well, I wouldn't pay that. I doubt that is what I would pay. Then that's what you want to do. You don't want to be that person. You want to be confident that, sell them that job. Hey, we have an opening on next Wednesday. Otherwise, it's going to be the following Friday. Do you want to get set up to be scheduled, so that way we can get it in there and get everything done. Because growing a business is not easy, guys. And this here is probably one of the hardest thing to do is quoting. Quoting is very hard. Quoting is one of the things that drives a lot of people crazy. And it's because it is tough. It does take a lot of things and a lot of factors. If you're not a business person and you are a more hands-on person, then you got the mentality of an employee technician or a technician mindset. You have that mindset of, well, I would never pay that. I can't pay that much. Then you're right. You're not your customer. You are not your customer. And so we've got to find our customers. We got to find those doctors and lawyers, and we got to find the people that live in the rich places. Go find them rich places, and those are the customers we want. We want them to find, and there's actually a doctor daughter she's a pediatric doctor, and she was like, we're going to go find a bookstore. I'm like, a bookstore? That sounds stupid, but that's what those types of people do. They don't go and sit on their phone. In fact, her daughter is the only daughter that don't have a cell phone. They do everything through not cell phones. Because you know what this is a lot of time? Garbage in, garbage out. So, that's why we got to make sure we got to be careful when we're doing these things and what we're doing. So, with that, commercial, we'll jump over here to, roof cleaning. Roof cleaning, my minimum was $600, and then I went up from there because, roof cleaning, there's a lot of risk. You can kill bushes, you can kill fish, you can screw up paint, you can screw up roofs. There's all kinds of things you can go wrong when we're doing roof cleaning. So when we're doing roof cleaning, that is one that we really want to get our ticket up. But the beautiful thing about a roof cleaning is we can set a roof cleaning at, say, $900 roof clean. But then we can add house washing because we're already there for another, $400. So now we're at, $1,300. And then we can add another $200 for exterior window cleaning. So now instead of just going there for a $900, $800 roof cleaning, we took that $800 or $900 roof cleaning and we made it a $1,500 ticket. Because there's a lot of people that's going to pick it all. And most of the people that are in that big of a house of that, they're going to pick it all at the end of the day. So that's what we want to do. And you're right. What if we fall? That's why we want to bid a lot for roof cleaning. Because there is a lot of risk. We got to use ladders. We got to make sure we don't kill bushes. Make sure we don't kill grass. Make sure the downspouts aren't going into the creek. Make sure the downspouts not going into the lake or the pond or, out in the middle of the grass. And so we definitely want to make sure that we got to be watching our roof cleaning. So, commercial. I was at $2,000 a day. Benjamin's at $3,000 a day right now, and he's closing jobs. And so, at $3,000 a day, that's good money. And he's charging, materials and different things else on there. So, don't be afraid to charge. That's what I want to push on there. Don't be afraid to charge. Don't be afraid to bid. And here's the thing. If you answer your phone and you are relentless about answering that phone, if that phone's ringing, you drop everything and you answer that phone. Because it kind of goes back to what I said about, when I teach my 26 steps of marketing, we're not worried about the house we're doing right now. We already getting their money. We're worried about the next house, next week, next month, next year. And so when we answer that phone, we take care of that problem of worrying about them next month, next week, next year. But if we don't answer that phone and we let it go to voicemail and we call them back 3 hours later and they done found somebody else, well, you just lost a job. And so that's why we got to be relentless when we're answering that phone. We got to make sure that phone is answered every time, no matter what. That phone is answered on ring 2, that we are stopping what we're doing, smiling, and answering the good old phone. Hey, how are you doing? Jason here at pressurewashhelp.com. How may I help you today? Yes, we can absolutely help you with that. Tell me a little bit about your project. Then we can go figure out where our paper is and all our crap, and we're falling apart at that point. But that's how we can do that. Keep a little notepad in your pocket so you can pull it out fast. Or, if you're doing it on your phone, just do it on your phone. And so these are some things that you can do to help with bidding. If you have a paper, or even if you're not bidding and you do them in person, you still got to get all their information. You still got to get that. You can, if you have a very easy website and a really good website, you can send them to them and say, hey, fill all this out, and then we'll do that. But you're taking a risk that they won't fill that out at that point. Because again, people are lazy. Even wealthy people are lazy. It's all about time. They don't have time to sit there and go fill out a bunch of crap. They don't have time for that. And so we want to make sure that we are on it and we're getting it done. And that's what we want to make sure. So commercial, we are shooting for that $300 an hour. And so we're going to try to figure out how long is it going to take. Is it going to take me 5 hours? Is it going to take me a day? If I'm at a day, I'm at $3,000. Now, I had somebody message me the other day, and I'm not going to mention his name, and he was like, I'm happy at $1,500. I'm like, do what? I was like, I was $2,000, and that was 3 years ago. And that was my daily rate. Benjamin's at $3,000. And I said, you know what happened? You know why you won't ever get $2,000 or $3,000? Because you're not asking for it. You got to ask for it. Because if you don't ask for it, they're not going to give it to you. They're not going to be like, here's your $200 house wash, but I want another $200. That ain't going to happen. Now, if I ask for $400 in the beginning and I get the job, then I get $400. But if I go, it's only $200, but can I really have $400? They're going to be like, no, you can't have $400 because you only asked for $200. So you got to ask, guys. Don't be afraid to ask. What's the worst they're going to say? No? Okay, go on to the next one. Again, I was showing you how to get an $800, almost a $900 average ticket is because you got to ask. And you're getting told no 50% of the time. But you know what? If you get 2 jobs at $800, but you get 2 jobs at $800, which is $1,600, or you get 10 jobs at $100, what do you want to do? 10 jobs at $100, or do you want to do 2 for $1,600? Me, I want to do 2, and that's it, because that's what I want to do. The word no doesn't hurt me. Exactly. Who's got my money? And I'm going to go find those customers. And when I find one of those customers, I'm going to find their friends, because their friends are just their customers too, probably. People hang around people that are like other-minded people. I'm going to go back up here, and I know we got some questions here. You guys got a lot talking here. My bread and butter is a 2-story vinyl house at 2,000 square feet, 525, including sidewalk, porch, gutters, windows, and doors. And you probably get more than that out of it. Add the driveway, and if that's the exterior windows, you can get more than that. I about guarantee you can get more than that. You got to ask. If you're not asking, you won't get it though. 2,000 square foot, around 300 here. Raise your prices. That's what I'm going to tell you. Raise your price because you can get more than that out of it. I don't care where you are. You know, we had a conversation at the huge convention. There was about 3 or 4 guys standing there. One of them was a guy from St. Louis, and he was saying, "You think Florida's bad? You ought to come to St. Louis. Nobody, I mean, we got the $49 guys. We dropped from the $99 guys. We going to the $49 guys." And I was like, bro, first off, I had to get Jason Hefner, because I'm like, dude, he's calling you a pussy pretty much because he's saying they only got $49 guys here, $49 house washes. Don't compare to the low guys. I about guarantee you, anywhere in United States, you're going to find the big guys. You're going to find the pressure wash Cincinnatis. You're going to find the, Mr. Wash. The people that are doing $500,000 to $1 million to $2-3 million. Go find those people. Quit looking for the $99 guys. You're only probably finding the $99 guys on yard signs, and that's it, because they'll go put them out, and that's all they'll be able to afford, and they won't do no more, because they don't listen to me of, don't just go put a yard sign out, but go charge and bid enough. Because if you're only bidding $99, you're not going to stay in business. I don't even care if you're doing it for beer money. You're not going to stay in business. So make sure that you raise your prices. You can get it. You just got to ask for it. That's what you got to do. I sell fascia and soffit cleaning for $345 on a small 1,500 square foot house. Give me some thumbs up. Y'all never met him, and I just can't imagine being that low. All talking about Pro Wash. $3,000 is doable. Everyone, like this live, this is some good info. I don't back off my price. If I say it will cost this, then that's what I stick to. Because you know what I always learned? The people that want to talk you down, and the people that want to negotiate with you, and the people that are the cheapest, they're usually the biggest pain in the butt customers. It don't matter if I'm talking about Christmas lights of a $2,000 bid or a $600 bid. The $600 bid will be 10 times more problem than the $2,000 bid. And it goes the same way with house washing. The $200 house wash will give me more problems and give me more issues than the $2,000 house wash. Because the $2,000 house wash, they're not going to, you got to make sure it's clean and everything. But the $200 house wash will give me more issues than the $1,000, $2,000 house wash. I want to start out as the middle guy, then work my way up with reviews. That's what you want to do. And don't think this is going to happen overnight for a lot of people. It's going to take time. It takes time to build a business. And if you're not dedicated to it and you're not putting your 100%, it takes time. Convenient pressure washing service is checking in. How's it going, boss man? It is going good. What software is that? That was Responsibid. I have a link down in the description. It's pretty far down though. Are you charging same on houses and manufacturers' houses by the square foot? Yes. Always upsell on a regular $400 roof wash, which you need to raise your prices about $600 on a roof wash. Even if you add driveway, not for $50, but for $200, and walkways for $75. I hate doing driveways. My driveways, I was adding $300 because it takes time. It's going to take you, as long as it takes you to do the house wash, it's going to take you to do the driveway. So you need to raise your prices, eco-friendly. Raise that up to $600. raise that, even go to 500 for just to get off the start. 500, $200 driveway, $300 driveway, and then the sidewalk, you're about right on the $65. 500 feet of vinyl siding, 2,500 square foot driveway, and a half a garage, $950. Garage on the roof on Friday. That's awesome. That's pretty cool for you, Mr. Big Rob. And it's a one-story. Jason, a company was just in my neighborhood, no names, but looked him up and had a GMB with 40 reviews. He did 27 houses out of 100 in here for 125 a house. Took 4 days, average square foot of 3,000. Yeah, that I wouldn't do. I mean, he made money. 27 out of the 100 in here. So 27 times, he didn't make very much money. And I didn't kill any flowers. That's good. They had lots of nice. Jason, how should we present these packages? Yeah, I hit on that already. I couldn't believe it. Do the math. Have a plan. The rest is easy. Yeah. Having a plan does make it help. Are you charging concrete by square foot? Yes. A lot of times I'm charging it because I'm going off of my daily rate. So if I know I can do 15 to 2,000 square feet a day, usually when I was bidding them, it was 2,000 square feet per day. So, I knew that if I worked for 5 hours, that's 10,000 square feet is what I could do. And then that was my daily rate. $3,000, and let's go on. Jason, you take bigger strides. That's why, yeah. I've hit on some of these. I always, when quoting a bid, package deals in with it to give the customer more options. Best to upsell right there. It's let you know that, and that's one of those things because some people want 3 bids. So you just hit that psychology of hitting 3 bids just by bidding 3 times. Giving people 3 bids. That is very, very important. I used to White X for sprinkler stains, and it's awesome. Jason, how can I get in touch with your skid? Again, pressurewashhelp@gmail.com. What software we're using to show us this close rate? That is Responsibid. Again, you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/Responsibid. I don't see where I can make the line items optional. It's on the, you might have to have the better package. If you got the bottom package, I don't think you can. Eco-friendly. What's that? EDDM. That's every door direct mail. Every door direct mail. Is what that is. It's through the post office. Our truck does not leave our garage for less than $800. If a customer says $100 off or even $50, I pass. Jobber is good. I left a 0 off my invoice and the customer wants to pay $25. Ouch. Thanks for the thanks for the super chat. Water attack helps my channel. If you don't ask for it, they will never get it. Present the bid and don't talk at all. At all. Once you give somebody a quote, don't say a word because the next person that speaks loses. So if I give the quote and I give a price and I say a word after, I just lost. Because usually it's going to be, well, I can do this, or, you done lost. Let them do their thing. Let them think. And that is 100% true. Present the bid and don't talk at all. And their objection, remember, the first person to speak loses. 100% true. 100% true. We want the retired women who hate looking at dirty homes. Love Jobber. If you want to try Jobber or just see it, you can go get it 14 days. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com/Jobber. You'll get 14 days free. If you use either one of those through those links, you help support me. I appreciate it. It's how I'm able to keep coming on here every Sunday night and Thursday night and putting 2 videos up. And I'm making my name for roof cleaner. Jason, what is a city is Jason, what if a city is new and not dirty? That's not a bad thing because people don't want dirt. Somebody was telling me, I don't remember who it was. They got a bid. They went and cleaned a house that wasn't dirty, and they wanted to know if they could get on the quarterly plan. And they're like, sure. And it's like $1,200 or $1,500 a quarter. People got money. You just got to find the right money. My biggest bid was 11.5. Used to do Christmas lighting, and there is always someone hurting themselves on ladders. Yeah, they can be. Christmas lights are money, big money, but you got to know how to bid them. And if you want to learn any more thing about Christmas lights, I'm actually doing a live tomorrow night, Monday night at 7:30. So you can go check that out, and that's at Christmas Lights Help at christmaslightshelp.com/YouTube. EDM is our good factor to drag in new customers. You have to try it twice. You actually want to send out 3 times. 3 times is where you want to be at. And you'll get people that call a year later. The word no does not hurt. Time is money. To a point. Money you can get more of. Time, you can't get no more of it. Once you run out of time, there's no more time that you're going to get. So time is not always money, into the fact of time runs out. And someday your time is done. And at that point, money don't mean nothing. Because you're not going to take money in the old hearse with you. It's just not going to happen. Gregory, next opportunity. Jason, how did you do your pricing change when you hired employees? I was at that $300 an hour per truck. So if I had 2 people on the truck, that's where I was at. And that's why I needed to get my average ticket was like $700. And that's how I had to do that. 6,000 square foot home, $49.99. That's a deal. Jason, do you have any customers that are not your kind of customers? Yeah, I do. People that don't want to pay. People that are PIAs, pain in the butt. There is some that you just not going to never make happy. Now, I say that, but some of your big pain in the butt customers will be your best referral customer. They'll give you lots of referrals. If you can make them happy, they will give you lots of referrals. They give you a lot more money. They will give you all their friends that are usually not as picky as that person. So that is some things that you got to remember. I know there's some people out there that, want to fire customers, but, there is times and places to fire customers. But usually those are your 199 customers. We're not firing, we can put up with other crap. Finally getting revenue. All word of mouth, made $3,400 in a month and a half. Not a lot, but doing it. Besides my pump giving up today, sucked, but go to get it. Hey, that's awesome. You got to start somewhere. It will get better. It will get better, I promise you. But you got to stick to it. It happens twice recently. I've done houses in the ultra-wealthy golf course areas, and one was asking for a special price because we will give you more. I charge regular, so I won't wonder if I lost the other. What I always tell people, you give me all them other jobs, and then I'll give you a deal. Until then, you ain't getting no deal. Charge $450 for a 1,200 square foot driveway. Hey, that's good. They say yes. That's all it takes. H2O tells the story that what did he say? He's added a zero and didn't mean to, so it was like instead of $280, it was $2,800. I think is what he said. And they said, yeah, when you coming out to do it? people will pay. You'd be surprised. People will pay. No from that customer doesn't mean they are not your customer. I have had a few callbacks because others screwed up, and then I go up the price and the quote of the first bid. Yep. Jason, did you get on roofs or did you spray from the ladder? I don't get on roofs unless absolutely necessary. I never got on a roof. That's the answer I got to tell you, Nathan. Never got on a roof unless you have a harness on. Wrong neighborhood, man. Hi, Jason. I have a house with dirty copper gutters. Ugh. I have SH is not good with those gutters. Any suggestions? Yeah, that's not gutters. Copper and SH don't play together, and you obviously don't want to put acid on it, otherwise it'll make them all shiny. So if you're wanting them to be shiny, then you can put some acid on them, or you do some Brasso if you really want to make them look really good and get them. And in that way, it gets what's the green stuff called on them. But yeah, be careful with copper. If you're going to do copper gutters on a roof cleaning or something like that, some things you can do is fill them up with water, clog the thing, fill them up, throw a couple of them neutralized the neutralized bags in there, and do that. Get a soft wash system. You're not going to have to get up on the roof. 5.5 gallon or 10 gallon. That's not always the case. Not always the case. Even the gas pump, I had to get up on roofs. I had a gas pump, and I never got on roofs. But even with a gas pump, I might have got on a roof or two. I quoted a 6-car driveway, walkway, concrete patio in the back of the house for $275 and act like I was insanely expensive. Yep, then that's not your customer. You move on. And that's insanely cheap. Raise your prices. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of people don't realize this. But when you raise your prices, you will a lot of people that I know that raise their prices, they will actually close more. Because a lot of customers don't want somebody that might not be able to do it. And if you come in at half the price of everybody else, they're not going to take you serious. Because they probably know that you don't have a lot of 5-star reviews at that point, and you're probably not legit at that point, because how are you doing it for half the price of everybody else? Suggestions. Help. Got a 35-gallon drum for my buffer tank, but it doesn't have a lid. How do I install a Hudson float valve? Either go get you another one that's got a screw on, or what you can do is cut a hole in it and then take like a 2x4 or something and then drill into the hole and then put that piece back on, and then you can screw it back down or something along those lines if you're trying to stay on a budget. So I know yard signs on Facebook and Instagram help, but what else could I do to get more jobs? I want to show you something here now. Look at this. Yard signs. $698. Average ticket of a yard sign. Leads. Oh, wrong button. Leads. Look. Yard signs. 21%. Google AdWords. 38%. Website and Google Ads actually can be tricky, but it's saying 17. But you can see here, DJ is getting most of his leads through yard signs, Google, and website. We're not even using Facebook or LinkedIn, but those are some ways that you can get bids. Just so you know, I teach a lot of different ways to get business. And that's why I say find one and do good at it. If you're going to do yard signs, then you're going to do yard signs. You're putting 25, 50 out every single week, no matter what. Hell, high waters. you're so busy you don't know what to do, you're still putting out yard signs. If you're going to do Facebook, you're posting 3, 4, 5 times a day, every day, and you're doing it live, and you're doing it every day for every day of the week. And that's what we do. That's what when I mean consistent, I mean consistent. We're going to do this 52 times a year, or weeks of a year. And we're going to do it every week. And we're going to be consistent. And when I mean we're going to be prolific, we're going to do it no matter what. It don't matter if it's pouring down raining, if it's snowing, we're putting out yard signs. Now, snow, you don't really want to put them out. But in our season, we're putting them out every freaking week. Same way with Facebook. Facebook, you are posting 52 times a year. It don't matter if it's snowing, if it's raining, because if we get that algorithm going and us coming up, it will shoot us up even more. Hello, how much would you say to wash a 19,000 square foot building, one story? That one I'm going to go, how long is it going to take you? And then I'm going to charge either $2,000 or $3,000 a day, and that's how I'm going to bid that. Jason, I just want to say thank you for helping me with my mindset. You've helped me as an individual and a business. Hey, mindset, buddy, is 99% of this crap. If you can change your mindset, you can do a lot at the end of the day. I've been reading a lot of books on mindset because, mindset is definitely key. Mindset is what's going to make or break you. The people that fail didn't ever change their mindset. They either had a poor mentality mindset or, not the right mindset. Quality, $3,500. My price for roof wash is close to twice for a roof. Do you have any in-person training planned in Ohio coming up? It'll probably be next year, and it'll be in the spring, I'd say. And it'll probably be April-ish. March is sometimes March can be cold here, or March can be not good, but that's when it'll be. I will be having some in Florida and in Raleigh before then, but but that's kind of where we're at. Your next time in NC will be probably February-ish. February-ish, March-ish. How much do you pay your employees per job, per hour? I actually paid them both. I paid them by hour before, and I paid them by percentage. I like the percentage because then I know what my cost is. If you pay by percent, if you do pay by percent, you do have to make sure that whatever their hourly rate is, or even minimum wage, is not lower than what their percentage is. So say if they work a 60-hour week and they didn't make very much money, then you got to take 60 hours. You got to take 60 hours and times that by $10, and then you got to take 20 hours and pay time and a half. And then you got to keep track of that, because if the government comes and finds out that you've screwed up, I do know somebody that didn't keep track of it well enough, and then they ended up paying quite a bit out. So then were some things that you got to look at when we're dealing with paying percentage. Paying per hour, we got guys making $20 an hour. Of course, you can go now and make Chick-fil-A and a couple other places make $19 an hour and never do nothing. You can always educate those difficult customers, and then they are your customers for life. You're right. I agree with soft washer. I meant to say 1,800, and I said 2,800, and they said yes. When can you do it? Before I corrected myself, but I didn't want to sound unprofessional, so I made 2,800 instead of 1,800. On 12-volt winterization, can you run RV through the system and be okay for winter? Yes, you can. Yes, you are right about that. Patina. I knew I was not saying it right. Jason, what 12-volt would you use? I like the 5.5 gallon one. They don't have no issues. I plan on following up with customers for referrals. I haven't been good about keeping them up. Get off the couch and go get it, lazy man. That's what a lot of it. Thank you for the bomb. Average person reads less than one book a year. The super successful read an average of 60 books per year. And that's true, man. Read books, even if it's audio books. I love audio books because I can't, it's hard for me to understand what I read. So I listen to a lot of audio books. And I recommend you all do the same. There's one saying you said that changed my mindset. And the saying was, if you're not willing to invest money in yourself, don't even open up a business. Thank you for that. And that's true, guys. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, whether that's reading books, taking classes, learning more about marketing, taking classes on marketing, are you not worth that? Are you not worth investing money into yourself? Are you not worth investing money to better improve yourself? Then I'm on a losing battle with you at that point, because if you're not willing to invest in yourself, then who else is going to be willing to invest in you? If you don't think you're good enough to invest in yourself, then why the hell am I going to invest in you at that point? Because I've spent I've spent a lot of money on different classes I've taken, and mentors and coaches. You don't see basketball teams without a coach. Why is that? Because they're getting better. And even if they have that coach, even your better ones have another coach that helps them get better. Because why? If we get better, it's just everything goes better that way. Jason, do you charge more for commercial properties or cut them a deal? Again, I'm looking at quoting a 200 single story, 3,500. Again, I'm going to try to bid it by the day. I'm bidding $2,000 to $3,000 per day, and I'm going to see how long it's going to take me, and I'm going from there. Reading Atomic Habits right now. It's a great book. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard it's a really good book. Atomic Habits. It all starts by little changes. And so this is what successful people do. I had Wesley Bloom on here. It was about a year ago now, and he's read like 60 books a year, pretty much. His goal this year was 60 books in 1 year. And so, it is important to make sure that you are educating yourself. It really is important. Go read books. If you suck at sales, go learn about sales. Go take some sales classes. Read the 10X book. Go read Grant Cardone's books on sales. Go read other people's books on sales. If you suck at marketing, go find out more about marketing. Go find out about that. Those are things that we need to do to make ourselves better. Jason, what 12-volt pump you use? Again, I use the 5.5. Either one. Neither one of them was better than the other one. Jason in the house dropping more great content. Mr. Dane from Florida. Hey, I got your message from LinkedIn, but I never sent you a reply back, and I'm sorry about that. That's my fault, but because I seen it and then I hit it, but I didn't have time to write a big message out, and then I forgot about it. But sitting here seeing it, I see it now. I blow fuses left and right. Well, the question is what size hose do you have? What size wire do you have? If you have too small a wire, that can blow hoses or blow fuses. If that pump is not adjusted properly, if that pump is not going and it's going and I know I love my sounds, but if it's doing that, it will blow fuses every time. I just got done reading this book. We read this book on the way to Raleigh, North Carolina, The Compound Effect. It's a great book. It talks all about the little things. And if we do the little things, it makes big things in the end. So that's another great book. Hey, Jason, been a long time, been really busy, but still trying to follow up on all our processes that you mentioned. Sent you a message on LinkedIn. Oh, yeah, I just told you about them. If you're blowing fuses and feed wire is probably too small or too small of an orifice, yes, any of those. Jason, how long do you follow up with customers by phone and email automation? One more or longer? I actually followed up for 3 years on closed, declined, all of them. Because you never know. Those 12 volts sounds perfect and we're on point. Well, thank you. Thank you. Jason, sorry to ask again, but my internet sucks. What brand of 12 volt? Any brand. I use both Delavan and Everflow and Never. It doesn't really matter. I've used both. All right, so I'm on tomorrow night. I have been terrible. Terrible. Tomorrow night I am going to do Marketing Monday because I love Marketing Monday with everybody in the Pressure Wash Help group. So if you join pressurewashhelp.com/free, you can get 30 days free and you'll get 4 Marketing Mondays. Because I had screwed up 2 of them I've been traveling for the last 2 weeks, and that's why I haven't been able to do the Marketing Mondays. But I am going to do Marketing Mondays. It's every Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern time at night, and I go over everything from, I did a month, 4 weeks of LinkedIn, 4 weeks of Facebook, 4 weeks of Google My Business, 4 weeks of a website, 4 weeks of SEO. And so this month I'm going to try to do, I'm actually not going to say what I'm going to do because I'm going to hit on some things that, and basically I talk for about 15 minutes on a certain subject, and I've been trying to educate myself, make sure it's still correct, make sure it's all that good stuff. And so I've been trying to hit that pretty hard so that way we can do that. So, Jason, when you have more jobs than you can handle, does that make your business successful? No. It just means you just got to raise your prices. Or you got to bring more trucks on. One of the two. I actually, I can't think of his name. I'm blanking hard tonight. Soft wash system. He says if you're booked out more than 2 weeks, you need to get another rig. So that's his philosophy, and it's not a bad one. Now keeping it up, that's a whole nother thing. But them are some things that AC Locker is who I was thinking of. If you booked out more than 2 weeks, you get another rig on the truck. And what I say is if you're booked out 2 weeks and you're not willing to put another rig on the truck, then you raise your prices and you keep raising them. And what you'll find is you will raise your prices and you will make more money by raising your prices. If you do not raise your prices, you will not make more money, and you can be booked out 3-4 weeks, and that's not going to do you no good. But usually what happens, and this is the reason why I'm telling you to raise your prices, is you will raise your prices, and then you'll be like, holy crap, people are paying that? And guess what? And I'm still booked out, and I'm still booking jobs, and then I raise them again? It's an amazing thing how that happens. It is an amazing thing how that happens. I want to do a Marketing Monday. I belong to your course. Well, I want to see you there tomorrow then. Thanks, Jason. You have a $2 million goal. Here we go. Jason, I have 20 homes, 1,000 square feet. I price them at $200 per house. It is a property management. It is commercial. The job coming back every year. Do you think that price is okay? I do think that price. I've actually went cheaper than that. We had about the same thing. Actually, we had 100 houses. So we had quite a bit, but we were doing them $125 per side, or actually I take that back. It was $99 per side, or it was $125 for the whole house wash. And most houses we only did one side because that's where we made our money, and it went pretty well. But the other thing about that, Diego, was they were all they were down a road. They were pretty close to each other, so we could park on one side of the street and do 4 or 5. Couple that way, and cross the street and do a couple that way. So that's how we did them. Jason, can you talk about how business is valued when you go to sell your business? So, what makes a business? That's a whole discussion in itself. I don't want to hit on. I mean, I can hit on a little bit, but that should be one by itself. What makes a business valuable? A business valuable is not, I did $300,000 and I want $1 million, because you're not going to get it. And I'm a one-man band. If you're a one-man band, how much ever your equipment is worth is about how much your business is worth. Now, if you have a full business, that you have employees, you have it runs itself. You are very little involved in the business side of it. You have people. You have an operation manager. You have an operation manager, an office manager, and everything is running itself. Now you have a business that can be worth something. Now you're going to be able to sell that business because somebody will look into it. And the best way to get that is to have contracts. So, for instance, my Christmas light business, I had over $100,000 in 3-year contracts for my Christmas lights. And that's what helped me get more money out of my business, is because I had those contracts. And so really a business isn't worth a whole lot at the end of the day when people are looking at a business if it's not self-contained and just it's on its own. And I don't mean that it's systematized and you don't need much. It's got to be completely hands off of you, and you got to have people running it. It's not because here's the thing: if you're a one-man band and you go to sell it, all it's worth is your equipment, and your phone number's not worth that much. Now, if you have an amazing website that's ranked number 1 and it's pulling a lot of leads, then that can be worth something at that point. The business I bought in Lexington, that basically is this YouTube channel. It came with this YouTube channel, and the website was an amazing website. First choice pressure washing was ranked number 1 in a lot of different keywords. And so that's what made that worth, I don't even know what we gave. I forget what we, 30, 40,000 bucks for it, 25. I don't know what it was. I forget because it was a long time ago. But, and that is what we have to look at when we're doing that. Your business is worth based on how many employees you have, pretty much. I have a question for someone who's just starting out. I'm trying to come up with a company name. Do you think it would be better to be using pressure washing, soft washing, or house washing? Pressure washing is what's going to be better. It doesn't hurt to raise your prices $50 and more work to get the price again. I'm saying go $100, $200. Raise them babies high. A true business is one that you can walk away and it still operates 100%. So again, go check out pressurewashhelp.com/free. I don't have nothing as my in-person. If you check it out, it will be there. I do have some videos coming up, so hope you all have a great night. Hope you all learned something tonight. Again, I'm going to hit on what I talked about the other night. Make sure you're taking care of your spouse, your kids, spending time with them. Again, people say time is money. Your kids, you only have so much time that you're going to be able to spend with them. So make sure you're spending quality time. And so that time that you have with your kids is something that you will never get back. So make sure you spend it. Make sure you're not like, man, I wish I would have spent more time with my kids, because now is the time you spend time with your kids. Now is the time you spend time with your wife. This is what you have to do. These are important things to do. And again, I just read in a book that give 100%. It's not a 50-50 in relationship. It's 100% zero. Even if they don't care, you still give 100%. Even if they're not giving it back to you, you always give that 100%, and that will help you be successful. And that will help you keep your relationships. So don't give up, give 100%, and be good. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow night at Marketing Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern. I'll send an email out tomorrow. I'll send an email out just to make sure everybody remembers it. See you all night, and have a great night.